Day 13 of our Read Aloud of Wonder. We're getting so close to the end, so make sure you're following along. You've listened to the previous day's videos. If you haven't, that's okay. You can just go back and watch them on the YouTube channel. You don't have to watch the days that I record them. You can just make sure you're following along in order so you're not confused of what's happening. So we're on day 13. We're on page 276. So if you've already watched the other videos, you know that Augie is now home from his overnight camp in Manson. Lots of crazy things happened while he was away at camp, but now he's home. He's with his mom, so we're gonna pick up right there. Mom and I didn't talk much the whole walk home, and when we got to the front stoop, I automatically looked in the front bay window because I forgot for a second that Daisy wasn't going to be there like always, perched on the sofa with her front paws on the windowsill, waiting for us to come home. It made me kind of sad when we walked inside. As soon as we did, Mom dropped my duffel bag and wrapped her arms around me and kissed me on the head and on my face like she was breathing me in. "It's okay, Mom, I'm fine," I said, smiling. She nodded and took my face in her hands. Her eyes were shining. "I know you are," she said. "I missed you so much, Augie. I missed you too." I could tell she wanted to say a lot of things, but she was stopping herself. "Are you hungry?" she said. "Starving. Can I have a grilled cheese?" "Of course," she answered, and immediately started to make the sandwich while I took off my jacket and sat down at the kitchen counter. "Where's Via?" I asked. "She's coming home with Dad today. Boy, did she miss you, Augie," Mom said. "Yeah? She would have liked the nature reserve. You know what movie they played? The Sound of Music." "You'll have to tell her that." "So, do you want to hear about the bad part or the good part first?" I asked after a few minutes, leaning my head on my hand. "Whatever you want to talk about first," she answered. "Well, except for last night, I had an awesome time," I said. "I mean, it was just awesome. That's why I'm so bummed. I feel like they ruined the whole trip for me." "No, sweetie, don't let them do that to you. You were there for more than 48 hours, and that awful part lasted 1 hour, so don't let them take that away from you, okay?" "I know," I nodded. "Did Mr. Tushman tell you about the hearing aids?" "Yes, he called me this morning." "Was Dad mad? Because they're so expensive?" "Oh my gosh, of course not, Augie. He just wanted to know that you were all right. That's all that matters to us, and that you don't let those thugs ruin your trip." I kind of laughed at the way she said thugs. "What?" she asked. "Thugs," I teased her. "That's kind of an old-fashioned word." "Okay, jerks, morons, imbeciles," she said, flipping over the sandwich in the pan. "Crantos," as my mother would have said. "Whatever you want to call them. If I saw them on the street, I would." She shook her head. "They were pretty big, Mom," I smiled. "7th graders, I think." She shook her head again. "7th graders? Mr. Tushman didn't tell us that. Oh my goodness." "Did he tell you how Jack stood up for me?" I said. And Amos was like, bam! He rammed right into the leader. They both crashed to the ground like in a real fight. It was pretty awesome. Amos' lip was bleeding and everything. "He told us there was a fight, but..." She said, looking at me with her eyebrows raised. I'm just grateful you and Amos and Jack are fine. When I think about what could have happened," she trailed off, flipping the grilled cheese again. "My Montauk hoodie got totally shredded." "Well, that can be replaced," she answered. She lifted the grilled cheese onto a plate and put the plate in front of me on the counter. "Milk or white grape juice?" "Chocolate milk, please." I started devouring the sandwich. "Oh, can you do it in that special way you make it with the froth?" "How did you and Jack end up at the edge of the woods in the first place?" she said, pouring the milk in a tall glass. "Jack had to go to the bathroom," I answered, my mouth full. As I was talking, she spooned the chocolate powder and started rolling a small whisk between her palms really fast. But there was a huge line, and he didn't want to wait, so we went towards the woods to pee. She looked up at me while she was whisking. I know what she was thinking. We shouldn't have done that. The chocolate milk in the glass had 2 inches of froth on the top. "That looks good, Mom, thanks." "And then what happened?" she said, putting the glass in front of me. I took a long drink of the chocolate milk. "Is it okay if we don't talk about it anymore?" "Oh, okay. I promise I'll tell you all about it later when Dad and Via come home. I'll tell you every detail. I just don't want to have to tell the whole story over and over, you know?" "Absolutely." I finished my sandwich in 2 more bites and gulped down the chocolate milk. "Wow, you practically inhaled that sandwich. Do you want another one?" she said. I shook my head and wiped my mouth with the back of my hand. "Mom, am I always going to have to worry about jerks like that?" I asked. Like, when I grow up, is it always going to be like this? She didn't answer right away, but took my plate and glass and put them in the sink and rinsed them with water. There are always going to be jerks in the world, Augie, she said, looking at me. But I really believe, and Daddy really believes, that there are more good people on this earth than bad people. And the good people watch out for each other and take care of each other, just like Jack was there for you, and Amos, and those other kids. Oh yeah, Miles and Henry, I answered. They were awesome too. It's weird because Miles and Henry haven't even really been nice to me all year. Sometimes people surprise you, she said, rubbing the top of my head. I guess. Want another glass of chocolate milk? No, I'm good, I said. Thanks, Mom. Actually, I'm kind of tired. I didn't sleep too good last night. You should take a nap. Thanks for leaving me Bobo, by the way. You got my note? She smiled. I slept with him both nights. She was about to say something else when her cell phone rang and she answered it. She started beaming as she listened. Oh my goodness, really? What kind? She said. Yep, he's right here. He's about to take a nap. Want to say hi? Oh, okay, see you in 2 minutes. She clicked it off. That was Daddy, she said excitedly. He and Via are just down the block. He's not at work, I said. He left early because he couldn't wait to see you, she said. So don't take a nap quite yet. 5 seconds later, Dad and Via came through the door. I ran into Dad's arms, and he picked me up and spun me around and kissed me. He didn't let me go for a full minute until I said, Dad, it's okay. And then it was Via's turn, and she kissed me all over like she used to do when I was little. It wasn't until she stopped that I noticed the big, white, cardboard box they had brought in with them. What is that? I said. Open it, said Dad, smiling, and he and Mom looked at each other like they knew a secret. Come on, Augie, said Via. I opened the box. Inside was the cutest little puppy I'd ever seen in my life. It was black and furry with a pointy little snout and bright black eyes and small ears that flopped down. It's like a new puppy. Bear. We called the puppy Bear because when Mom first saw him, she said that he looked just like a little bear cub. I said, that's what we should call him, and everyone agreed that that was the perfect name. I took the next day off from school, not because my elbow was hurting me, which it was, but so I could play with Bear all day long. Mom let Via stay home from school too, so the two of us took turns cuddling with Bear and playing tug of war with him. We had kept all of Daisy's old toys, and we brought them out now to see which one she liked best. It was fun hanging out with Via all day, just the two of us. It was like old times, like before I started going to school. Back then, I couldn't wait for her to come home from school so she could play with me before starting her homework. Now that we're older, though, I'm going to school and have more friends of my own that I hang out with. We never do that anymore. So it was nice hanging out with her, laughing and playing. I think she liked it, too. All right, that's where we're going to stop for today. See you tomorrow.